Hello, folks, and welcome to this year's State of Hunger Address. I'm Susannah Morgan, president of Oregon Food Bank, coming to you on National Hunger Action Day. In the middle of Hunger Action Month, this is a time when people across the country come together to volunteer, donate, and take action to end hunger. And this Hunger Action Month, Oregon Food Bank is exploring the importance of food justice and what we can all do together to achieve it. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we all know how challenging the past few years have been. And even though the official pandemic emergency has passed, hunger remains stubbornly high in our communities. Free food markets, pantries, and meal sites throughout the region continue to report record high demand. Combined, we expect over 1 million people will seek emergency food assistance through the Oregon Food Bank Network this year alone. We hear time and time again from parents, seniors, and young people alike that food and housing prices are still too high to make ends meet with the type of jobs and pay that are available, let alone for folks on fixed incomes like Social Security. And to make matters worse, more than 750,000 Oregonians enrolled in SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, saw a drastic cut to grocery budgets this year. When pandemic-related SNAP benefits ended in March, families lost an average of 40% in food support. We saw the number of people seeking food assistance in Oregon and Southwest Washington skyrocket as many turned to our network to fill the gaps. That is why it's so important that we rally to strengthen SNAP in the upcoming federal farm bill. Even with our scale, for every meal we provide at Oregon Food Bank, SNAP provides 10. So we need to do all we can to make sure leaders in Congress prioritize SNAP in the coming months. On top of ongoing pandemic impacts and cuts to SNAP, our communities have also struggled through the effects of natural disasters and climate change. The vast majority of food banks around the country this year spent time in emergency response mode, from wildfires and tornadoes to tropical storms and flooding. We know too well that wildfire season is particularly challenging in our region, and our network is always ready to respond with water, food, and other critical supplies in affected communities. We also actively support our sister organizations in the wake of disasters. Some of our Oregon Food Bank colleagues recently deployed to Hawaii to help in the aftermath of the deadly wildfires there. It's simply the truth that climate change and climate disruptions are causing hunger, and the need for support here and across the country is real. But through it all, we remain strong. We remain rooted in values of equity, justice, and community. And we've made so much progress towards food justice together this year. So I'm proud to introduce a few colleagues who are here with me today to share some of these milestones from across our network.
Susannah named some of the key challenges our communities have faced over the past year and how we're all working together to respond. First and foremost, it's important to know that food remains available to all who need it. Our network of 21 regional food banks and 1,400 food assistance sites is doing everything possible to keep food flowing through these layered challenges. So if you or someone you know needs help, please visit OregonFoodFinder.org to find resources near you. It's an easy-to-use app where anyone can type in your location and find nearby free food markets, pantries, meal sites, and delivery programs. You can also dial 211 to be connected to a live person who can help find local resources. We all need support at some point in our lives, and we'll all inevitably be in a position to help at some point as well. So please don't hesitate to visit OregonFoodFinder.org or dial 211 to find free food near you.
Our mission at Oregon Food Bank is to eliminate hunger and its root causes. It's a mission that often requires advocacy for policies and investments that help prevent hunger from happening in the first place. And this year, we made meaningful progress on several key initiatives that will help level the playing fields for low-income families in Oregon. One of those important victories is the Oregon Kids Credit, which passed this session thanks to so many of you who wrote, called, and emailed your legislators. The kids credit comes as a $1,000 refund per child each year for people filing taxes who earn less than $25,000 a year. This is a huge accomplishment that will reach more than 55,000 kids across all 36 Oregon counties, including families who have been excluded from other supports due to immigration status. Pursuing economic justice for families is food justice.
In addition to passing the Oregon Kids Credit, we made another monumental step towards ensuring every kid has the resources they need to succeed. Thanks to the advocacy of an amazing statewide coalition, a new $17 million state investment will improve the well-being of 114,000 students facing hunger. The investment ensures that 3 out of 4 Oregon schools will offer universal free meals starting in fall of 2024. We know that the availability of sufficient food significantly influences a child's ability to perform academically, with impacts on earning potential lasting well into adulthood. This is especially true for low-income students, and this investment brings us a major step closer to guaranteeing every kid who needs it has access to free meals in school. Nourishing our next generation of leaders is food justice, and we hope you'll get involved at OregonFoodBank.org/Hunger Action Month today.
We are also proud to continue partnering with the state of Oregon to purchase locally grown, harvested, and raised food for distribution. These investments support our work with local producers, manufacturers, and retailers to channel the bounty of fresh, locally produced, and culturally relevant food throughout the region. We are taking this work even further with new community grower support programs. The programs focus on producers and small processors from communities who face disproportionately high rates of hunger, particularly Black, Indigenous, and all people of color, as well as immigrant and refugee communities and trans and gender diverse communities. We are meeting producers where they are, providing funding and support that has led to transformational impact, allowing producers to hire more employees, invest in infrastructure, and expand access to culturally relevant food while supporting stability and well-being. Transforming food systems is food justice.
We're inviting everyone to join us in advancing food justice throughout Hunger Action Month and beyond, because food is essential to our daily lives. Our freedom, our health, our ability to thrive all depend on access to food. Yet we know we can't truly end hunger for good through food alone. We have to take action to prevent hunger from happening in the first place. That means addressing the policies and the systems that drive hunger and poverty in our communities. The root causes of hunger are systemic, so the solutions must be systemic too. And that is the pursuit of food justice. Food justice is more than just getting food on the table today. It's about making sure that food is available, affordable, and sustainable for everyone every day. Food justice is the belief that food is a human right, and that all people in our food system should be treated with respect. Food justice is dismantling systemic barriers that lead to people of color, immigrants and refugees, single moms and caregivers, and our gender-expansive neighbors, experiencing hunger at a disproportionately high rate. Hunger Action Month is a time when we all come together to bring focus, attention, and action to the fight to end hunger, to the fight for food justice. You can head to OregonFoodBank.org/Hunger Action Month right now and commit to advancing food justice, and follow along throughout Hunger Action Month to hear from leaders who are mobilizing our communities. Leaders like Aman, a single mother expanding access to culturally relevant food for Muslim families in Oregon, and Lourdes, a community leader increasing resources for Spanish-speaking families and ensuring Latinx communities have access to food that feels like home. You can also hear from our partners at the Afghan Support Network, who have helped lead the fight to secure food for all Oregonians, as well as personal stories from Oregon Food Bank's teammates, whose lived experiences are critical to creating the change we need in our communities. So join us. Join us in celebrating the power and impact of our collective and the work we're doing together to achieve food justice.
There are so many ways to advance food justice in our communities, and we have all the tools and information you need to take action at OregonFoodBank.org/Hunger Action Month. Volunteer some of your time sorting food in our warehouses or at a distribution event in the community. Make a financial contribution to support our shared effort to end hunger for good. Sign up to receive action alerts and get involved in local, state, and federal efforts to advance food justice. This is truly a community-led movement, and we'd love to hear from you. Share your ideas or questions here in the comments, or send us a direct message. Your support has made our work at Oregon Food Bank possible for more than 30 years, and I'm grateful for, inspired by, and in awe of all this community has accomplished so far in the fight to end hunger at its roots. Together, we're advancing food justice, and I can't wait to see where the next year will take us.